when you reach your 60s, something shifts. It's not just your body or your schedule. It's the way the world relates to you. You start to notice that the people who were always around aren't as available anymore. Your kids have full lives. Old friends move away or simply grow distant. The phone rings less often. The house feels quieter. And in that stillness, a question starts to echo in your heart. Who can I really count on now? In your younger years, the answer felt simple. Family. Maybe your children, your spouse, a sibling, or lifelong friend. You believe that when life got hard, someone would be there, and maybe they still care. Maybe they'll help if they can. But after 60, something becomes clear. Even love has limits when people are busy, tired, and stretched thin. This video isn't about pushing people away. It's about gently facing the truth and building a foundation that can carry you no matter what happens. A foundation made of 6 essential pillars. Pillars that, believe it or not, are often stronger than family when it comes to long-term support. Because at the end of the day, no matter how much people love you, your security, health, and peace of mind have to start with you. And once you understand these 6 pillars, you'll never feel powerless, alone, or unprepared again. Let's begin with the first one that quietly shapes everything else in your life. Your financial stability. Pillar 1, your financial stability. Let's face it, money is a sensitive topic. We often avoid talking about it, especially as we get older. But here's the truth. The most reliable support system you'll ever have isn't a person. It's your financial independence. Money can't buy happiness, but it can buy peace of mind. It can pay for your medication. It can fix the car when it breaks. It can give you choices when others feel stuck. It's not about greed, it's about freedom. When you're 60 or older, relying on your children for money isn't a plan. It's a risk. Take Richard, for example. He's 72, a kind man, worked hard all his life, helped his kids through college, lent them money when they were struggling, always picked up the phone, always gave what he could. So when a medical emergency drained his savings, Richard assumed his children would step in to help. But when he called, the answers were gentle but heartbreaking. Dad, I wish we could, but we're behind on our mortgage. Things are tight this month. Can we talk next week? I've got 2 kids in daycare, Dad. I just can't right now. Not because they didn't care, but because life is hard for them too. That moment, when Richard realized the safety net wasn't there, was one he'll never forget. And that's when he made a decision. He wouldn't live another year without a plan. Because depending on love isn't the same as depending on stability. So let me ask you this. Do you know exactly how much you need each month? Do you have savings for an emergency? Is your retirement income secure? Or is it barely covering the basics? These are hard questions. But facing them now means peace later. You don't have to be wealthy. You just need to be prepared. It starts with small steps. Track your spending. Cut what you don't need. Stay out of unnecessary debt. Invest in things that give you long-term security, not short-term pleasure. Because at this stage in life, financial peace is emotional peace. And emotional peace? That's what gives you the ability to live with confidence, not fear. If you're watching this and feeling unsure about your financial picture, don't let shame stop you. You're not alone, and it's never too late to make changes. Start today, not because you're afraid, but because you deserve to feel safe. Because you deserve to sleep at night knowing, no matter what happens tomorrow, I'll be okay. Because at the end of the day, your finances may be quiet, but they speak louder than anyone else when you need help. Pillar 2. Your physical health. There's one thing in life that no amount of love, money, or outside help can replace: your health. After 60, your body becomes either your greatest ally or your biggest challenge. And the truth is, even the most caring family in the world can't take a walk for you. They can't drink water for you. They can't force you to get that checkup or take your medication. That part, that's on you. You might think, I'll worry about it later. But later gets harder. And when your health starts to fade, So does your independence. Suddenly, the stairs feel steeper. The kitchen feels farther. A trip to the store feels like a mountain. Carl learned this the hard way. He was 68, retired, used to be an athlete in his youth. Always figured he'd get back in shape one day. But that day kept getting pushed until one morning he realized he couldn't get out of bed without pain shooting through his legs. Grocery bags became heavy. Walking up the porch left him winded. He was stunned at how fast things had changed. His kids visited when they could, but they had jobs, children, homes to run. They cared, but they couldn't be there every day. One afternoon, Carl looked in the mirror and thought, if I don't take control of this now, I may never get it back. So he started small, a 5-minute walk, a switch from soda to water, stretching in the morning, a salad instead of fries. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. Your body doesn't need perfection. It needs consistency. You don't need to train like a teenager. Just move a little more than yesterday. Choose foods that nourish instead of hurt. And most of all, listen to your body when it whispers, so it doesn't have to scream. And if you've been ignoring warning signs, those little aches, the dizziness, the sudden tiredness, don't brush them off. The sooner you act, the longer you keep your independence. Because at the end of the day, your greatest support isn't your kids or your doctor or even your medicine. It's you. It's your own decision to stay strong so you can keep living on your own terms. Pillar 3, your social circle. One of the biggest changes that creeps in after 60 is something nobody talks about enough. Loneliness. Not the kind you feel for a day. The kind that stretches on when the phone stays quiet and the front door doesn't open and the silence becomes louder than the TV. It's easy to assume your children will always be there. But life pulls them in different directions: jobs, kids, deadlines, responsibilities. They may love you deeply, but they can't be your only connection to the world. And if you let your world shrink, if you stop reaching out, stop engaging, stop showing up, you begin to feel like you've disappeared. Margaret was 73, a widow, 2 adult sons she loved dearly. But their lives were full: school drop-offs, office meetings, weekend soccer games. She waited for phone calls that didn't always come. She'd set the table for visitors who got too busy to stop by. One evening, she realized something. If I keep waiting, I might wait the rest of my life. So she decided to change it. She joined a local reading group. She started attending a gentle yoga class at the community center. She even joined an online app for seniors to connect over shared interests. It wasn't instant, but slowly, her days began to fill with laughter, conversation, and purpose. She stopped waiting and started building. Because the truth is, your social circle is a pillar you can build anytime, even if it starts with a small step. Say hello to a neighbor you've seen but never greeted. Join a walking group or community class. Call an old friend, even if it's been years. You don't need a dozen close friends. Just a few good people who check in, who remember your birthday, who make you laugh, who remind you that you matter. Because loneliness isn't just an emotional feeling. It affects your health, your energy, your memory, even your lifespan. But the beautiful part is, connection is always within reach, and it starts with you. If your circle feels too small, it's not a sign of failure. It's a nudge to open the door, pick up the phone, say yes to something new. Because at the end of the day, no matter how old you are, you deserve to feel seen, heard, and valued. And the more connections you create now, the more joy you'll carry into the years ahead. Pillar 4, your sense of purpose. Something unexpected happens to many people after they retire or reach a certain age. The world gets quieter, but inside there's a restlessness. You wake up and think, now what? The days stretch ahead, but they don't feel full. You're no longer rushing to work, raising kids, or planning the next big thing. And without realizing it, a feeling starts to grow deep inside, like you're no longer needed. Here's the truth no one talks about. Your family may love you, but they can't give your life meaning. They can't decide what excites you. They can't tell you what you're here for. That part? That's something you have to build for yourself. George was 70 when he retired from his job as an engineer. At first, it was exciting. No more early mornings, no more deadlines. He thought, this is a life. But after a few months, something didn't feel right. The days felt long. He stopped shaving every morning. He stopped opening the curtains. And then one evening, he admitted to himself, I miss feeling useful. It wasn't about money. It wasn't about recognition. It was about purpose. So he started volunteering at a local school, teaching basic woodworking and building projects with kids. The first week, only 3 students showed up, but the smiles on their faces lit up something inside him that he hadn't felt in years. George had a reason to wake up again. He had something to give, and someone who appreciated it. That's what purpose does. And it doesn't have to be something big. You can mentor someone younger, start a garden, learn to paint, help a neighbor, write stories from your life for your grandchildren. Purpose is not about keeping busy. It's about feeling alive, even if you live alone, even if your phone doesn't ring often, even if your body is what it used to be, your heart, your mind, your experience, they still matter. If you've been feeling like your best days are behind you, it's time to rewrite that story. Because at the end of the day, the strongest light in your life doesn't come from others. It comes from the flame inside you, and it's never too late to reignite it. Pillar 5, your emotional resilience. Life after 60 isn't just about rest and retirement. It's about change. And sometimes that change is painful. A friend moves away. A spouse passes. A doctor gives you news you weren't ready for. And the world that once felt steady starts to feel unfamiliar. In those moments, it's easy to feel lost, to lean hard on your children, to wish someone else could carry the weight. But here's what's true. The greatest strength you'll ever find is the one that lives inside you. Emotional resilience isn't about being tough. It's about learning how to bend without breaking, how to feel deeply, but not be destroyed by it, how to cry and then get back up. Helen understood this well. She was 75 when her husband of 40 years passed away. They had done everything together, grocery runs, TV shows, afternoon walks. When he was gone, the silence in the house was unbearable. At first, she leaned hard on her children, and they tried, they visited, but they had families of their own, schedules, stress. Eventually, Helen realized something. They could love her deeply, but they couldn't fill the emptiness inside. So she made a quiet promise to herself. I'm going to learn how to heal. She joined a grief support group at her local church. She started writing in a journal every morning, just a few lines about how she felt. She picked 3 things each night to be thankful for, even if one of them was just, I had a hot cup of tea today. Some days were hard. Some days she cried. But slowly, she started to feel stronger, not because the pain disappeared, but because she had found a way to carry it. That's what emotional resilience is. It's not pretending everything is okay. It's giving yourself a space to hurt and still hope. And it can come from many places. Faith, community, therapy, nature, meditation, writing, whatever helps you feel grounded when life starts to shake. Because here's something powerful to remember. You are not broken. You are becoming. Every hardship you faced has shaped you. Every loss has deepened your capacity to love. And every tear has taught you how to hold joy when it returns. So if you've been waiting for someone else to help you feel whole again, look inward. You already have what it takes. Because at the end of the day, your greatest emotional support system is you. Pillar 6. Your ability to adapt. If there's one truth that becomes clear after 60, it's this. Nothing stays the same. The world keeps changing. People come and go. Routines shift. Things that once felt steady may no longer feel certain. And the people who struggle most in this stage of life, they're not the ones with the least money or the fewest friends. They're the ones who resist change. They cling to how things used to be. They refuse to try new things. They say, that's just not how I do things. But those who adapt, those who stay open, curious, and willing to grow, they don't just survive. They thrive. Frank was 78. His friends, one by one, had either moved away or passed on. For years, he relied on in-person gatherings to stay connected. Saturday breakfast at the diner, afternoon card games at the community center. Then the group slowly faded, and Frank found himself spending most days alone. He could have said, well, I guess this is just how it is now. But instead, he did something that surprised even himself. He asked his grandson to teach him how to use a video calling app. He joined an online group that discussed history and World War II. He started sending daily jokes to his niece by text. And in doing that, he found new life. Because adaptability isn't about giving up the past. It's about finding new ways to stay connected to life. Maybe your body doesn't move the way it used to, but you can still move. Maybe your neighborhood has changed, but you can still find new friends. Maybe technology feels overwhelming, but with a little help, you can learn it too. Adaptable people are the ones who say, let's try a different way. I'm willing to learn. I won't let this stop me. And that mindset, it keeps you young inside, no matter what year is on the calendar. So if something has changed in your life recently, don't let it defeat you. Let it grow you. Because at the end of the day, your ability to adapt may be the strongest support you'll ever have. It helps you move forward when life shifts. It helps you stay strong when something ends. And it reminds you you're never too old to begin again. Final thoughts. You are your strongest support. As we reach the end of this journey together, let's gently bring all 6 pillars back into focus. When you're over 60, life looks different. It moves at a different pace. The people around you may change. The roles you once played might fade. And the support you thought you could always count on may not always be there in the way you imagined. But that doesn't mean you're alone. It means it's time to build a new foundation. One that starts with financial stability, so you never feel trapped or dependent. Physical health, so you can keep living freely on your own terms. A strong social circle, so laughter and friendship never grow scarce. A sense of purpose, so every morning still has meaning. Emotional resilience, so you can weather any storm and keep going. And the ability to adapt, so no matter what life brings, you rise with it. These 6 pillars are not just ideas. They're actions. They're choices. They're daily reminders that you are not powerless. Because at the end of the day, true support doesn't come from waiting for someone to step in and save you. It comes from knowing you've already begun saving yourself. You're strong. You're wise. You're capable of more than you realize. And this stage of life, it isn't the end. It's the beginning of something new, something calmer, deeper, and more meaningful. So if one of these pillars spoke to you today, take action, even just one step, because one small step leads to strength you didn't know you had. Thank you for being here with us today. We'd love to hear from you. What pillar will you focus on this week? Leave a comment and share your thoughts. And if this video brought you peace or inspiration, don't forget to subscribe and share it with someone who might need to hear this too. Remember, you are not alone. You are building something powerful. And we're right here with you every step of the way.